Hey, welcome in. I'm at a Mosland. I think we're live. I got to change the title. I didn't mean to start this already. This is going to be Should the Clippers get D'Lo plus Pelicans preview show? How about that? Uh, Deloading for the Clippers. Appreciate you guys. I have to put up a tweet now too. I didn't mean to go live like this right away. I hit the wrong button. I can't blame the cat for jumping on the keyboard. It was me. Clippers talk is up. Let me put out this tweet on X really quick. I apologize for the slow start and delay here. Took a negative step backwards to start off the show. I know anyone who's subscribed to the channel would already know that we are up. Talking D'Lo. Talking if the Clippers should get D'Lo plus Pelicans preview. All right, I think we can start things off. I'll try to make up for it now. As Carl Lewis once said, I have this Intuit Dome pin that I could give away. It's basketball. It says Intuit Dome. Pretty cool. Best comment, whatever I deem that to be. We can make it simple. Best comment in the comments section will win the Intuit Dome pin. And how about best comment about the Clippers' new home? Let's make it Intuit Dome related. Let's theme it up here. So your best experience so far at Intuit Dome. I want the stories. I want to know how you feel about the Clippers' new and first home. That will win the pin. I'll send it to you as long as you're in the U.S. Easy enough? All right. Let's start things off for real. It's Clippers Talk. I'm Adam Mosland. And we got a good show for you today. We're going to talk about D'Angelo Russell being traded back to the Brooklyn Nets from the Lakers, and if that could be somebody the Clippers should show interest in, as I know Clipper Nation is kind of interested in him. Plus, we'll have a preview of the Clippers Pelicans game tomorrow, front end of a back-to-back starting in New Orleans. Then they'll be in San Antonio on Tuesday. I'm in the studio, which means I should probably pull up some of the wacky sound I like to play here. You know, AI Adam, Brian Seaman, and Ralph Lawler laughing at me sound. Oh, what else do I have? Kawhi laughing sound. I mean, I came into Burbank for a reason. I got some other work to do here, but I figured while I'm here, I might as well record the podcast, right? Oh, you know what other sound I have here? Maybe my favorite sounds that is very unique to this show. Wait a second. Why isn't it playing? There we go.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope.
Yeah, not too bad, I hope. Doesn't get old. It really doesn't. Not to me, at least. Maybe to some of you, but you guys reference it all the time, so I figured it's working so far. You're getting a laugh out of it. Yeah, there's Brian and Ralph Lawler laughing at me. But yeah, tell me how you guys are doing.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you tonight?
Alex
Not too bad, I
Webb
hope.
said, "Happy Sunday, Adam. Let's go."
Not
Maybe
too bad, I hope.
maybe not having too bad of a Sunday himself. Gabe Moore is in here. Gabe, how we doing? It's Clipper Stock Live. I gotta stop saying live. It's Clipper Stock. It's going to be live. Stop the redundancy errors here, Adam. It's a given it's live. Yeah, this was Tyler.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope.
Dello said Pelicans is such a weird team this year. I know they have been dealing with injuries, but their record shouldn't be this bad with the amount of talent they got. The amount of talent that has been missing. Yeah, you're probably right. It still shouldn't be this bad. Juan says hello. What up? Oh, I missed the clown part for Tyler from Alex Webb here.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope.
Not too bad, I hope. Just setting me up. But I came through in the end, didn't I?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope.
How are you guys tonight? Not too bad, I hope. Let's talk about the Lakers making a little bit of a move earlier. Not that I want to talk about the Lakers, but indirectly, it could be related to the Clippers. Some of you have made it about the Clippers. So, D'Angelo Russell was traded back to Brooklyn, where he was an all-star. They also gave up 3 second-round picks, Maxwell Lewis, and they got back Dorian Finney-Smith. That was the big guy moved in this trade. If you know me, I like Dorian Finney-Smith, even though I did post the play earlier today about Kawhi Leonard during his 45-point Game 6 must-win situation in Dallas, crossing him over into the Shadowlands. Like, it was unbelievable. He put him into oblivion with that crossover, the double crossover, the step back, snatched it back, jumper over him in one of the greatest games I've ever seen played by an individual. And probably the best game ever by a Clippers individual, considering it was win or go home, and the Dallas Mavericks had their fans back, and the Clippers were in the Lions' Den, and they got the victory somehow. The Lakers also got Shake Milton in the trade, who hasn't really materialized. You may remember him from the Philadelphia 76ers, getting a lot of minutes there. He's kind of bounced around the last few years. Ross said half the New Orleans players always seem to be injured. Will we get to see Boston? We'll talk about that in a second, but I want to talk about D'Angelo Russell. Does he have the best plus minus on the Lakers this season? Really? Can anybody confirm that for me? The Lakers were already under the second apron, so they didn't go under. They were already under the second apron. Thanks, Ross. Eric said, hi, Adam and Clips gang. Monday talk here. What do you mean Monday talk here? Hi, Eric.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Hey, what's up,
how are
buddy?
you?
How are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope.
Monday talk here. You mean because we're previewing the Pelicans game, which is tomorrow, which is Monday. Okay. I'm putting the pieces together here. D'Angelo Russell's a very talented player. There's a reason that he was, a top 5 pick. What year was that now? That was so long ago. He was playing with Kobe Bryant in his last season with the Lakers. He was, drafted. Wow. It's almost been 10 years. It's about to be. He was drafted the summer of 2015. Yeah. 2015, 2016 season. I believe that was the last season for Kobe Bryant. He has had some stellar plays, some stellar years. He was an all-star one season. He was reserved for the Brooklyn Nets after he was moved over to them. Remember the whole recording Nick Young video thing that got him in trouble, maybe with Iggy Azalea? Was that the girl that Nick Young was with and he was texting somebody else? Or I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know exactly. Drive By Buddy is here. Hello Dola is here. I think it's a good move for them. However, playing for a team with no expectations is way different than playing for the brightest lights in LA. I predict his shooting percentage to fall off due to the pressure. Dorian Finney-Smith's shooting percentage, yes, because it's very high right now. A lot of guys have struggled to get it going from 3, like Malik Beasley when they came to the Lakers, Taurean Prince at times. D'Lo was shooting a low percentage from the outside this season, 33%. Remember, he was moved to the bench a couple of weeks in. At first, it looked to be a good move and could help both parties, himself and the team. But then the numbers kind of fell off even more. He was only averaging 12 points per game. It's way down from last season where he was getting 18. Of course, he was starting the majority of those games. He only started 10 of the 29 games he played in this season. Like I said, he's talented, guys. and I understand the appeal because he's a better backup ball handler and scorer than the Clippers currently have. He also makes $19 million. It's an expiring, and you guys are saying if he gets bought out, you think Brooklyn's going to do that because they're trying to capture the flag and intentionally tank and lose right now to get Cooper flag? So therefore, they can't have D'Angelo Russell lighting it up like he used to for them. And he's still in his prime. He's only, 28 years old, 28, 29. But people saw what his ceiling was in big games, specifically against the Denver Nuggets in back-to-back years in the playoffs, where he was just miserable in both those series. And I'm trying to look at his overall playoff numbers here. So his first year with Brooklyn, or his first time making the playoffs with the Brooklyn Nets, he was 22 years of age. They lost to Philadelphia in the first round. They won one game. He shot just 36% from the field, just 32% from the outside. He got 19 per game, but it took him a lot of shots to get there. The percentages were low then. So I don't even think it's just with the Lakers or just about playing the Denver Nuggets. Second playoff series for him. Now he's 25, playing for Minnesota against Memphis in 2022 in the first round. By the way, that first series with him taking on Philadelphia, I believe that was the Jared Dudley incident where they got into it. But he wasn't good also in Minnesota a couple years later. In the first round, they lost in 6 games to the Memphis Grizzlies, and he shot 33% from the field, 38% from the outside. So I'm sure a lot of his attempts were from three. Almost half of them in that series were from three. So that's going to drag down your overall field goal percentage. But he must have shot it pretty poorly from two as well. He only averaged 12 points per game, 7 assists per game in that series. Now with the Lakers, in their run to the Western Conference Finals a couple of years ago in 2023, first they went through Memphis. He averaged 17 points per game, shot 44% from the field, 37% from the outside, 6 assists per game. They took out Memphis in 6 games. And they took out Golden State in 6 games. He shot 45%, make it 46% from the field, 31% from the outside, averaged 15 points per game. Then against the Denver Nuggets in that Western Conference Finals. And this has stuck with him ever since. He has not been able to get over this terrible series. But as I point out here, he's never been great in the playoffs overall. He was okay those first 2 rounds for the Lakers. But before that, with Minnesota in the first round, with Brooklyn in the first round, his shooting percentages were really low. Not this low, though. Against the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals series where they were swept in 2023, he shot 32% from the field and 13% from three. He went 2 of 15 from three. Averaged 6 points per game, 4 assists per game. And that's still playing 24 minutes per game. I think by the end of the series, he got benched. But, yeah, he still played in all 4 games, and he couldn't hit a shot from the outside. Now, last season, in the first round against the Denver Nuggets, he was slightly better. He had one game, was it game 2, where he went off, but Jamal Murray still ended up hitting the game winner over Anthony Davis in Denver. It was game 1 or 2. D'Angelo Russell actually had a really good game. He thought maybe he'll be able to turn things around, exorcise some demons against Denver, but they still lost in 5 games. Gentleman sweep, and he shot 38% from the field, 31% from three. He was 14 of 44 from three in the series, averaged 14 points per game, 4 assists per game. Not good enough. And his efficiency overall in the playoffs, this is 6 series total. 6 different playoff series is, however you said that, for D'Angelo Russell. He's shooting 39% from the field and 33% from three, averaging 14 points and 5 assists per game. It's a total of 32 playoff games. So playoff D-Lo has been a struggle. Even before the Lakers, even before the Denver Nuggets. Jay said, I knew would D'Lo talk was going to enter the chat when I saw the trade this morning. Anywho, it's my son's birthday, Adam. Can I get a happy birthday, Freddie? Please, thank you. Let's go, Clippers. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Freddie. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Jose and Southgate. Ross said the Nets posted they are not buying Russell out. Who said that? Who goes there? Was that their GM, Sean Marks? Did he say that? I didn't see that. I'm not saying you're wrong. Just wondering. Rock said, if anything, they should have went after Smith. We've talked about Dorian Finney-Smith. I like Dorian Finney-Smith. Nico is 36 and PJ is at home. Kobe just now getting off the injury report while Flowers isn't drinking age. Again, there's a minutes crunch going on now when they get healthy when Terrence Mann is back. It's just who's playing for this team? Who's going to be able to play when Kawhi is back? You can say we need this guy, we need that guy. Cool. Tough decisions are going to have to be made. Who's playing? Let's see. FK Retro said, can't see D'Lo getting bought out. Apparently they're not going to. Like, why buy him out when they could trade him? Why would they buy him out? They could reroute him somewhere else. It could be like Drew Holiday going to Portland and then going to Boston from Milwaukee. Another bronze scapegoat. I think it's pretty fair to say D'Angelo Russell did not live up to his potential in the playoffs. Ross said the Nets are now in the luxury tax and the Lakers moved below the second apron. They were over when LBJ took the max. No, they weren't. They were slightly under the second apron. Weren't they not? Can somebody else confirm this? I'm pretty damn sure. Lakers were not over the second apron. They were just slightly under it. All right. I'm going to look this up right now. They just moved further below, I think, the second apron, but they already were below the second apron. Is, I think, the confusion here. Okay. Even with LeBron's contract sacrifice, the Lakers are restricted by the salary cap. Yes, because I think they're over the first apron. This is going back to a report from July after LeBron James signed. The Lakers won't cross the second apron at any point for the rest of the season. Yeah, they just got further below the second apron. Ross, stop the casual talk. Come on, my man. You're better than this. Jay said, shaking my head, never mind. Don't say happy. He wants D'Lo for Terrence. He likes D'Lo as much as I like man. So Freddie is not having a happy birthday anymore because he wants them to trade for D'Angelo Russell. Eric said, Law Murray just raised a concern about my trade wish, which is Cam Johnson. His injury history could be a valid point. I've been saying that, but he is still young anyway. Keen on Sexton, though, for a good backup point guard. Keen on Sexton. Cool. Cam is going to cost you a first-round pick. If Dorian Finney-Smith took 3 second-round picks from the Lakers to get, Cam Johnson is going to cost you a first-round pick, even with his injury history. He's having that good of a year. They need to trade him. He's too good. They've won far too many games. He's getting 20 points per game, playing solid defense, shooting 43% from 3, 49% from the field. But last season, only 58 games. Season before that, 25. That'll make it 42. Season before that, 66. Before that, 60, 57. So he's never played 70 games in a season. He's only played over 60 games in a season twice. I'm not giving up a first-round pick for that. I'm not. Alfredo, hello, my friend. Let me ask you a question.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope.
How are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope.
Buddy, how are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope. How are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope.
Chunk wants Sexton instead of D'Lo. Is it because the Lakers stench is still on him? And you guys hating on him because of he's a former Laker? Now, it would be interesting to bring a guy who's going to end up playing the Lakers still 4 times this season. They haven't matched up yet. Yeah, we know they're under the second. They've been under the second. They just got further under the second. I don't know what Ross is talking about. This trade didn't get them under the second. They have been under the second apron. They're over the first. Holo Dolo said, who's playing is a real question for sure, but these are probably the players that won't be playing. Bones, PJ, sure. Miller, sure. Kai Jones, sure. Kobe, sure. Yep, there's still like 11 guys that you got to start talking about once Kawhi is healthy. Amir, Terrence, KPJ. Everybody can't play. It's not going to happen. X-Mongo Project said, I have a Kawhi question. Is his left calf bigger than the right? Oh, my God. I love how people don't, like, trust the doctors to know more about this. Like, if there was some concern and they're like, I've noticed it with a lot of pics and video. Is this going to be an issue if it is? It's like, let the experts handle it and stop worrying about stupid. Okay, there's a picture going around. I already addressed this yesterday. I'm sorry. That's why I'm irked. There's this unhinged Twitter account called Depressed Clippers Fan. Make it an Instagram account. They're putting this picture up and they're showing his left leg. And they're showing basically what looks to be a flexed quad, and they're saying it looks different than the right leg. Something is wrong with it. Well, the left leg isn't the one that has had surgery on, or he's had surgery on his left leg. He hasn't. It's his right leg that has given him trouble. Stop the dumb ass questions. I'm sorry, X-Mongo Project, but this is so stupid. One leg bigger than the other. Like, oh, you picked up on something that the medical staff has no idea about. That's crazy. Thank God you're here. Let the experts handle this stuff and stop listening to people on. First of all, I don't even trust for sure that this is not a manipulated picture, but it looks like it's just his quad flexed on his left leg. Who cares? His right leg has been the troublesome one. That's the one that has had the ACL, the meniscus, the swelling, the tendinopathy. Hi, Alfredo.
How are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope.
Rock said, taking back your kid's happy birthday shout out is diabolical. Hello Dolo said, we're not getting Cam when teams like Grizzlies and OKC can outbid us in a heartbeat. It's a pipe dream. I've been talking about this forever. Pretty much everyone can outbid the Clippers for a guy. Alfredo Rodriguez said, I think the Clippers will most likely go after another reclamation project. They're good at revitalizing distressed players. Who's the best reclamation project that may get bought out? You guys tell me. Chunk said, if D'Lo gets bought out, we have to pick him up, though, right? Easy upgrade to KPJ. They said he's not getting bought out. Somebody said that. But it's the same guy who also said that the Lakers weren't under the second apron. I think it was Ross. You know, I'm not for the oh man, there's some Lakers fans that are like, D'Lo's about to come back for the low minimum after being bought out of the Nets. That wouldn't even be legal. But I'm trying to find if there's something definitive on D'Lo being bought out. I see this from Mark Stein. He said the Nets are now seeking multiple first-round picks from teams interested in trading for sharpshooter Cam Johnson. Can they really expect to get more than one first-rounder for Johnson after the deals just witnessed for Dennis Schroeder and Finney Smith? Probably not. But if you ask for two, like, start there and negotiate down. Rock said, mostly be a 8 deep done for defense, Amir for catch and shoot with defense, Nico only forward with experience between power forward and center. Chunk said, him not wanting to move might help. Who are we talking about? Alex Webb said, everyone vote our boy Zoo for the All-Star game. NBA.com/Clippers/vote. Xmongo Project said the episode was way too early for me yesterday. Wasn't able to watch. I just want to confirm it if it is. Not worried at all. Saw this a few weeks ago with another video. Clips Facebook said I was just tripping. You are tripping if you think that you're like finding something out about Kawhi's physical condition like the Clippers wouldn't know everything about him already. His left leg's bigger. Juan said, what's good, Adam? And D'Lo don't play D. Yeah, that's a great point. Somebody hitting me up earlier was naming everything good about D'Angelo Russell and why they should get him while avoiding bringing up how, he's not a good defender and is a complete liability on that end. I think that needs to be part of the conversation with D'Angelo Russell. Don't you guys? Like, he also said Ty Lue can unlock him in the playoffs. This guy is Sheriff O. And I did respond, I don't hate it for the right price. If you can bid low and get D'Angelo Russell somehow, great. I do think Coach Lue could get more out of him. But when you comment about how D'Lo is better than KPJ in ball handling, passing, and scoring abilities, all that's true. But you're leaving out defense, which I pointed out here. He's better in every way over KPJ outside of, defense. So I just feel like that probably should be something mentioned here. Rock said if D'Lo gets bought out, again, not happening, his best bet would be going to Orlando, who need a starting guard shooting help. Yeah, that'd be a good spot for him, actually. That's smart. Why would they buy him out when they can still get something for him? I think Sean Marks is a pretty good GM. Ross said, no, my bad. Lakers were 3.5 under the second apron. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, at least you said my bad. Yeah. While telling me multiple times the Lakers were over the second apron and this trade got them under it, I kept telling you they've been under the second apron. They just got further under it. At least Ross apologized. We'll take it. Hello Dolo said, I don't think D'Lo is an easy upgrade over KPJ. He is 100% better offensively than KPJ. However, he is a significantly worse defender and rebounder and has very low effort. There's two sides of the ball. There are, but I do think especially in today's league, there's an emphasis and a priority on having guys who can be efficient players on the offensive end. Why did I start with the trade talk? Rock said he absolutely wouldn't have a huge role. Add in his struggles defensively. You can't play him in many lineups with Norm and Harden, even limiting Dunn. You can't just throw scorers on this team. Yeah, there's lineup issues with D'Angelo Russell if you bring him in. Melvin Powell Jr. said D'Lo wants to play with his high school teammate Ben Simmons for real, so they can chill on the bench and load management together every other game. LOL. Hello Dolo said, I'm not so sure about that. If people have to overcompensate for him on defense, it puts us in rotation against good teams. Yeah, his defensive effort, guys, I've seen like most every play of D'Angelo Russell's in Los Angeles. I didn't catch everything with Brooklyn. I didn't feel like he was a real all-star. He was a reserve because guys were getting injured. But he, at his best, is a fringe all-star. Defensively, though, he is really poor on that end. Rock said, you can absolutely hate KPJ's defense. Keeps him in the game along with his microwave shooting. D'Lo isn't even shooting better than Porter, especially since the ankle injury. Well, D'Angelo Russell, over his last 10 games, is shooting 39% from three, but scoring just 13 a game. So the Lakers are selling on a bit of a hot streak. But yeah, on the season, the shooting's down. He's at 42% from the field, D'Lo, 33% from three. He's never adjusted well to coming off the bench. I thought it was a smart move by JJ Redick because they needed some pop off the bench, and I don't love him in the starting lineup. He wouldn't be in the starting lineup with the Clippers either if they brought him in. Chunk said, "You're playing for playoff scenarios, though. He can have a clear net positive despite having bad D. If he's playing abysmal D and no offensive production, keep Harden on the floor longer in the postseason." I am thinking about playoff scenarios, and that's why I went through his playoff numbers. They're not good. They're not good for D'Angelo Russell. He clearly is a playoff lower-er. This goes back to his first series with the Brooklyn Nets in the playoffs. It's not just him disappointing with the Lakers against Denver. There is a clear track record and history of him not showing up in playoff games. Ray said, "Hey, folks, update from Mexico. Wife's extended family is excited to visit us and a 10-day game at the Dome. Our 2-year-old told them Harden is the greatest at everything." Right on. By the way, Into It Dome pin. We're going to give this away. Best comment about an experience at Into It Dome in the comment section for this video will win this Into It Dome pin. Seems like a rational way to do it. Saruka Shah said, "Can we get Seth Curry?" The problem with Seth Curry is he gets completely hunted defensively. Yeah, Hello Dolo points it out. Seth would get abused and targeted by every player. He's way too small. Like, this ain't the 90s where Muggsy Bogues is not having like a 15-year career today. Mookie Blaylock is not having that. Isaiah Thomas had a brief moment in time where he was averaging 29 for the Boston Celtics, and they had other guys around him that could make up for his, flaws on the defensive end, being undersized. But today's league, it's hard to hide small guards. It is. Chunk said the clear net positive isn't happening for KPJ even during his good games. It's not. His last 6 games going into that Memphis game, he didn't play the last game against Golden State Warriors. He was still a minus 37, even though he was putting up 15 per game and shooting 45% or 48% from the field, 41% from three over 6 games. He was still a minus 37 out there. Melvin Powell Jr. said the Clippers are going to shock everyone and trade for Jordan Clarkson. I don't think anyone would think it's that shocking. I don't know why you'd think it's so shocking that they trade for a guy like that. But I just don't. He's a defensive liability too. Hello Dolo said Seth would get. Yeah, saw this. Liberty, we're talking about some of these trade rumors right now. You've already said this once. Are you listening to the show? Ray said, "Still hope we can get Sexton, but either way, I'd like to see this team with Kawhi. I prefer Colin Sexton over Jordan Clarkson." Ex-Mongo Project said, "Personally, I feel a D'Lo replacing KPJ move is just a lateral move. You get better on offense, but worse on defense. Maybe." Big Money Saul said, "For what it's worth, Adam, I also think The Witch is Egger's best work." Let's go! The Witch is back up. Brock said, "Harden is already showing signs of wear and tear. We have to be very careful with his health. Kawhi and Harden health is why I'm skeptical of making moves." Yes, I'm talking about moves where even if you get Colin Sexton and you're not a championship ball club this season, he can still help you in the future. I'm talking about moves that aren't fully dependent on raising your ceiling this year. Colin Sexton can help them now. He can help them in the future. It's not all about whether or not Kawhi can stay healthy this season. He is a good piece that could help you in the future. He's a young player. He has a change of pace for this Clippers team that I think they sorely lack. sorely need. Alfredo Rodriguez said, because of his speed, Alfredo Rodriguez said, Liberty, not a rumor, but one mock trade suggestion I've seen as of late involves Nikola Vucevic. I believe he was on the Clippers' radar as far back as the Lob City era. I may be wrong on that. I think you're a little bit off with that. Does anybody have that? Does anybody have an idea about that? I mean, has Vucevic been on the Clippers' radar going back to the Lob City era? Maybe. Fans have brought him up. Yeah, I'm not going to say you're wrong. I had to make this account said, no D'Lo, in my opinion. He doesn't fit the character of this team. The only thing that really intrigues me is, first of all, offensively, when D'Lo gets on heaters, it feels like he can never miss. He has a crazy step back. He is a sharpshooter, and when he catches a hot streak, it's pretty to watch. He can cook. But the real reason I'd be somewhat intrigued with D'Angelo Russell for the right price, which means not giving up much, would be because they have 4 games remaining against the Lakers. And I'd like to see that D'Lo revenge tour. Chunk said, the only positive D'Lo talk I have is when I'm comparing to KPJ. Not that big of a fan of him. I do think he'd overall be an upgrade over KPJ, even with his lack of defense, because he's so much better handling the rock, shooting from 3. But it depends on what you give up. KPJ is making $3 million. D'Lo's making $19 million. If you have to give up a lot or anything of significance, then no. Melvin Powell Jr. said, if the Clippers pick up D'Lo, I believe that would be an NBA record for most left-handed players ever on one team. Harden, Coffey, KPJ, Miller, and D'Lo. Wow, that's a great point, Melvin. Soggy Cereal said, D'Lo as a Clipper seems like fool's gold. Better off with Sexton, even though that's not necessarily that much better. Yeah, but you're likely going to have to give up more for Sexton. I think Sexton could be significantly better. There are some people that don't realize just how efficient he has been in his career. And the speed he plays with, I think, could unlock something for this Clippers team. Bastian Schweinsteiger says, greetings from the Oracle. The Oracle. Yeah, that's what I got to say about that. Greetings from the Oracle. Ray said, into a dome, cheat codes. Use ParkWiz for cheap spots. Buy sandwiches from Sunday Gravy. Use the wall entrance and get some fresh grub an hour before tip-off. Chunk said, I'm taking credit for you being bullish on Sexton, Adam. You can't tell me otherwise. Did you start the Sexton talk? You might have, Chunk. Am I taking a chunk of your initial opinion about Colin Sexton and running with it? I don't think he's perfect. I don't think he's a perfect player for the Clippers. But I'm looking at who could be available, who could be sellers. Because of his diminutive size and only being 6'3", he could hurt them in some ways. Holo Dolo said, I'm not one to push for trades before seeing Kawhi, but my ideal trade would be Sexton and Kessler for T-Man, salary, and second rounders. Bro, I should mute this. Like, they're not giving up Sexton and Walker Kessler for Terrence Mann's salary and second rounders. They can get a first, at least a first, for Walker Kessler and probably a first for Colin Sexton. If they're not getting 2 firsts out of trading both of those guys, Danny Ainge ain't picking up the phone, my guy. Like, not trying to be too critical of that comment, but it is just, there's another team that also wants to win the trade, right? Ray said Chicago wants picks for Nikola Vucevic. He's way past his prime, I think, even for a backup. Rock said, then that's a personal gripe, not actual performance. A 24-year-old at $2.2 million helps you win any games that's overachieving their contract, just throwing names that don't fit the rest of the team. If you guys didn't know, Rock is a KPJ apologist, and that is the agenda. Mike said, D'Lo on this team could work. I trust our coaching staff to get through to him. I do too. I think they get more out of him. Plumpy said front office should just flip a coin on it. Well, I don't know about that.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope.
That would be bad. That That wasn't the soundbite I was looking for. I was trying to get a Kawhi laugh. Let's see. Deuce Time said, "Sup, homie? I'm gonna be in LA this week. You got some access for me on Saturday?" Deuce acting like he knows me. You don't know me like that. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't. I know everybody wants to go to that game because they're anticipating Kawhi coming back on the 4th at Intuit Dome against the Atlanta Hawks. Ray said, "Can we clip some audio from the new Kawhi video? There's been good days, there's been bad days, but I keep coming back." That's not a bad idea. I'm gonna pull this up right now. Hold on. I love this commercial. I really do. The Kawhi New Balance commercials all around have been solid, more than solid. They've been good. New Balance. Is it even up here? Where's it at? Where's it at? Why is it this hard to find? It shouldn't be. Kawhi New Balance commercial. Should I type in fishing? Oh, okay, here we go.
Hey Kawhi, I know you're super busy right now, but we really need you to get back with me. We really gotta go over this upcoming schedule. And I get it. You got a lot on the plate right now. You got recovery, the family, all the different things and expectations.
Kawhi tunes out the publicist. He's all business. Gets out of the, is that a caddy?
We got exciting news coming out of Los Angeles. Kawhi Leonard looks to be...
I really wish that I could have been used for this voiceover right here. Like, I really wish. I think I would have done all right.
We got exciting news coming out of Los Angeles. Kawhi Leonard looks to be returning to the court.
We got exciting news coming out of Los Angeles. Kawhi Leonard looks to be returning to the court pretty soon. We got exciting news coming out of Los Angeles where Kawhi Leonard looks to be returning to the court pretty soon. There's my audition tape.
Pretty soon. Could be great.
Yo, I knew I could find you here.
Found himself fishing.
You catch anything? Nah, not yet. There's been good days. There's been bad days. But I keep coming back.
Deep. I don't think he's talking about fishing.
Yet. There's been good days. There's been bad days. But I keep coming back. It's the nature of the game.
Pretty awesome, right? I love it. Well done, New Balance. All right, back to you guys in the chat. Rock said, "I would have taken TJ McConnell if they want to try and reach for someone. If we were thinking post Harden, would like Nemhard in the offseason. All depends on the direction." Chunk said, "D'Lo can take pressure off Harden in the regular season. He also could be in a better playoff situation being a 7th or 8th man. He's a good regular season point guard. I mean, remember his last stint in Brooklyn?" I do. I know he's had good regular seasons with the Lakers. So I'm not denying that. I'm just thinking about in a playoff series. Rock is taking umbrage with me calling him a KPJ apologist because he is. Rock said, "It's not apologist. You have to add players that make sense. You guys keep wanting to add guards that don't play defense when Norm and Harden are already bad on defense." Actually, they haven't been very bad. Like, you can't be a top 5 defense if your starting lineup has 2 bad defenders that are just so bad on that end. The numbers don't line up with that. They have been doing enough. They have been giving enough effort out there. Otherwise, the Clippers wouldn't be this good on the defensive end. Harden and Norm have been doing their part. Kevin Richards said, "Did you see?" Yes, I saw Micic. Straight up for PJ, maybe. Juan said that Kawhi commercial is fire.
Been good days. There's been bad days. But I keep coming back. It's the nature of the game.
Sa said, "Houston is sliding in the standings. Dallas has a tough schedule coming up. We just need good complementary pieces. Maybe they already have them. Ray said, shout out New Balance. Their shoes have been great for people with past Achilles issues. They're built for stability. I actually, guys, I've been wearing New Balance forever. Oh wait. These are my Sauconys. I forgot I had my running shoes on. But I've been wearing New Balance shoes because they got the wide foot and they are comfortable. And they're good for plantar fasciitis as well. Ray said specifically the Kawhi 4.0s. Sharuka Shea said, can I get... Oh, no, you can't. No, you can't. Everybody has regrettable moves. Nobody is flawless as a GM. Jerry West made mistakes sometimes. Y'all holding on to that. Did you just not see Lawrence Frank cook this last summer? Did you not see the team Lawrence Frank constructed? Did you not see the defensive identity that was being built as soon as they knew Paul George was gone? Boom, DJ, Chris Dunn, Nico Batum. My guy was cooking. L. Frank. Eddie said, isn't the only way we can get anyone, we would have to trade or waive people? Well, yeah. Tom Rain said, is there some news about Brooklyn not wanting D'Lo or something? Is he on an expiring contract or what is the situation? You're a little late, bro. Like, is Brooklyn dumping salary? Or are we just talking about offering a trade? They can get something for him. He is on an expiring contract, D'Lo. $19 million. But I don't know why they would just waive him when they could get something for him still. Why not get more out of this trade? Sunken City Clips said TJ McConnell is shooting so bad, like 23% from three. Ooh. Holo Dolo said Norman Harden have been good. They take pride in defense this year. Yeah. Rock ain't noticing. Rock said, let's be for real. Against the better teams, both guys can very much so get burnt. We saw John Morant. Morant went like 7 of 21. What are you talking about? Dude, let's be for real. Yes. John Morant did not cook. And they didn't have to be on him much anyways. If they were so bad on defense, James Harden and Norman Powell, the Clippers wouldn't be a top 5 defense, guys. If they have 2 guys in the starting lineup that are so bad on that end, how are they still a top 5 defense? Make it make sense. Mike Dang said, D'Lo last year with the Lakers had a lot of heaters. We don't have to play him in the playoffs if he's not performing or low effort. In the regular season, he could keep Harden fresh. I don't disagree with that. I think for the right price, I'm interested. It just depends on what that is. If they have to give up anything of significance, I don't love it. Ray said, thank you, Adam. They should play that on the Halo board. The Kawhi.
Nah, not yet. There's been good days. There's been bad days. But I keep coming back. It's the nature of the game.
Oh, I love it. Rock said, you lost your damn mind if you think D'Lo would want that situation while fighting for his next contract. I don't know what situation he's referring to. Ray said, we are 18 and 13. Everyone needs to sign an apology letter to L. Frank. Thank you. Not me. Do I need to post the photos that I have of him cooking this offseason? Or I imposed his face onto like Wolfgang Puck or something? Absent said Kobe Brown is off the injury report. Great. It's still going to be hard for him to get minutes. JDog777 said, that's good to know about New Balance being good for plantar fasciitis. I'm currently dealing with that right now. You can also find some insoles that'll help you. Dr. Scholes has some. Rock said, it's just talk whenever someone pops up. Talking about D'Lo. Tom said, he was an all-star not too long ago. I can't see him getting waived. That's very logical of you. J-Dog said, thanks for the info. Haha, learn something new every day. Rock said, exactly. Who was defending Morant? But, like, you're missing the point. They have apparently 2 really bad defenders on the floor, according to you. Yet, the Clippers' defense is great. The starting unit has been great. Teams haven't been able to hunt that out. And don't tell me Harden and Norm haven't been given effort on that end. Don't. Renzo said, like, James Harden had like a block, a big steal last game. Like, he's doing some stuff. I'm not saying they're great, But as long as they're giving effort, it's okay. Renzo said, every year Kawhi gets hurt, it gets me mad, but every year he's making his return, I get hyped up. Damn you, Kawhi.
Days. There's been good days. There's been bad days. But I keep coming back. It's the nature of the game.
He never gets enough credit for what a hard worker he is. And just the way when he comes back, guys, he gets more efficient every comeback. So far, he's only gotten more and more efficient. His offensive game only gets more and more refined. X Mongo Project said, was able to clean the Kawhi audio sent on your Twitter. I think I've been playing it here. I think that's been playing, guys. X Mongo Project not listening. Alfredo said there was a blog post on Last Word on Sports about New Year's resolutions, and the Clippers one was winning a playoff series. If they can win one, which team should the Clippers draw? Who should they play in the first round? I don't mind Houston. James Bond said, should the Clippers trade for LeBron James? Is this a joke? Is this supposed to be funny? Ray said, I'd love to see a defeat of the Warriors in the playoffs. Big Mike wouldn't like that. Let's finish off that dynasty. That would be kind of poetic justice or symmetrical, because the Clippers, they were the last team for quite some time to have beaten them in the Western Conference before Golden State went on to win 4 championships. The Clippers beating them in that first round series. I think the next time Golden State lost in a Western Conference playoff series was against the Lakers in 2023. So that would be appropriate. Oh, you removed the music. My bad, X Mongo. Appreciate you. Well, it's too late. I'm probably getting flagged for it. I would prefer Sexton over D'Lo because Sexton has been so efficient, and he's a quicker downhill pace player that I think could offer the Clippers a different element of attack. James Bond said, why would you want to draw the Rockets when they've spanked us twice this year? Because the playoffs and the regular season are two different things. The Rockets don't have a guy that's averaging 20 points per game this season. The Clippers with Kawhi, with James Harden, would have the 2 best players in that series. Playoffs and regular season are two different things, my guy. That's why. I'm not saying the Rockets are pushovers, but I'd take the Clippers to beat them in 6 games. Healthy. Rock said, can give effort and still be a weakness. Oh, God. You still want Harden as your playmaker even when it comes with the high turnovers? It's called a high usage rating. Guys with high usage ratings have high turnovers. All players have trade-offs, but starting them both come playoffs is interesting. Starting Norm and Harden? You're acting like anyone acting like they have been liabilities on the defensive end, James Harden or Norm Powell, simply has not been watching this season. You haven't been watching. I'm sorry, you haven't. It is hard to hide 2 guys on defense now. Therefore, I don't think the Clippers have had to hide them. I think they have done enough and have done their part. Rock said, ideally with Kawhi back, I would have liked Norm back to the bench and slide Claw and DJ up. No. Norm is invested as a starter. It's a storyline for the season, so I wouldn't do it to lose confidence. It's a risk. You're not putting a guy averaging 25 at his level of efficiency on the bench. You're just not. Holo Dolo said, but it hasn't been a weakness so far, though. And they've played elite offenses. Defense isn't our issue. Thank you. Sly Vu said, just got in here. Adam, are you still pushing to move T-Man for Colin Sexton? I think Man deserves another go. Even his mom said he needs a season reset, and we can't send him to Utah of all places. I love Terrence Mann. I just don't know how is he going to get into the rotation? When Kawhi's back, who's not playing, guys? You going to not play Dunn? or DJ or Amir? Is Coach Lou not going to play KPJ? Batum? Even with assuming Jordan Miller's out of the rotation, Bones Highland's out, PJ's out, Kobe Brown's out, even with all those, unless they go to a 10, 11-man rotation, how's man playing? The thing I do fear most about Houston is Ime Udoka. He's a really good head coach. All right, I want to get to this preview. Clippers taking on the Pelicans tomorrow in New Orleans. Clippers starting a 3-game road trip. 5 p.m. is your tip time. Clippers, Pelicans tomorrow. Front end of a back-to-back. All right, so the Pelicans, there's a reason that they are 3-27 their last 30 games. 3-27. Offensively, they're 29th on the season. Defensively, they're 29th on the season. The Clippers on offense are 23rd now. They dropped a couple of spots after that Warriors game where they had 12 turnovers in the fourth quarter. But defensively, they're 4th. Clippers 22nd in pace. Pelicans are 16th, so not too big of a difference there. Rebounding percentage, the Clippers are 9th. The Pelicans are 24th. But while the Clippers are 3rd in defensive rebounding percentage, and the Pelicans are 29th, New Orleans is 7th in offensive rebounding percentage. And they're 7th in offensive rebounding percentage, the Pelicans, and 7th in second chance points at 15.3. Now, a lot of this is because they miss a lot of shots and get a lot of second chance points opportunities. But still, they're used to offensive rebounding. They have to. The Clippers are 16th in offensive boards. Clippers are 13th in three-point percentage at 37.1%. The Pelicans are 27th. They're 33% is what they're shooting from the outside. Keep them there. Teams are shooting just 33.8% against the Clippers from 3. That's the 3rd lowest three-point percentage in the league. Contrasting with the Pelicans and how they're giving up 37.2% from 3 to teams. That's bottom 5 when it comes to defending on the perimeter. So the Clippers should be able to knock down some three-pointers. Both teams right next to each other when it comes to free throws attempted at around 23 per game. The Clippers are 25th in turnovers per game. Worse than the Pelicans there at 15.5. The Pelicans are 18th at 14.5 turnovers per game. Of course, Clippers are coming off a game where they had, over 20 after 12 turnovers in the fourth. Clippers 11th in points in the paint at 49 per game. Pelicans are 20th at 47 points in the paint per game. But the Clippers give up the 8th fewest points in the paint per game at 46.2. Their rim protection's really good. Credit Big Zoo. The Pelicans, this is one of the worst components of their defense. They're second worst when it comes to paint protection and paint defense. They're giving out 54 points per game in the paint, the Pelicans. Big Zoo should feast. Clippers, 11th in fast break points at 16 per game. Pelicans, 18th at 15 fast break points per game. And the Pelicans are giving up the most fast break points to their opponent at 20 per game. The Clippers, middle of the pack there at 15.6. I mentioned the Pelicans being 3-27 their last 30 games. They won't have Zion. They won't have Grand Theft Alvarado tomorrow. They won't have Brandon Ingram in that game. So you're asking who's left? Who has been doing anything for the Pelicans? Here's what I worry about. A Brandon Boston revenge game where he drops 30 on the Clippers. And I don't want to hear from anybody who's saying, oh, I told you Brandon Boston was good. We should have never let go of him. I didn't hear any of that this summer. I didn't hear any of that when the Clippers let go of him. I didn't hear any of that when the San Antonio Spurs let go of him. This revisionist history about Brandon Boston, who I love and I'm still rooting for, I didn't hear any of this stuff this summer about him. So what has he been doing as of late after having kind of a turning point in his career where he's getting minutes because they are that beat up? He is averaging 26 minutes per night, getting 12 points per game, shooting 44% from the field, 35% from the outside. He's still streaky. Last game, he had 7 points. Game before that, 17. Game before that, 8, 7, 7, 20, 9, 17, 11, 11, 19, 13, 8, 4, 9, 16, 14, 10, 12, 19. So he's had some streaks where he's going for double figures scoring wise for 5 straight games. Then he's in single digits. Then he gets 20. Hot and cold. Young player. That's what happens. I'm happy for him getting this opportunity, though. Who else can score? Who else could surprise the Clippers? They also have Daniel Tice. Daniel Tice revenge game? Is he going to body Mo Bamba? And I'm going to be hearing a lot of the Clippers should have kept Daniel Tice over Mo Bamba talk, even though I didn't hear that this summer. He had 11 points last game in their 132-124 loss for the Pelicans. That was against the Memphis Grizzlies. They competed in that game. Game before that, 2 points. Game before that, 3 points. 7, 0. Like, he's averaging 15 minutes per game, Daniel Tice. 4 points, 4 boards, shooting 43% from the field. And on 1 3-pointer attempted per game, he's at 23%. Obviously, he hasn't been good enough to hold up their defense. It's not his fault. Nobody has been good enough. They're just in a really bad spot. Or they started. Who is this? I don't even know this player. Who he play for? This is young. Oh, it's a center they just drafted. How do you pronounce his name? I'm going to go to the pronunciation. Phonetically, Yves Missi. Yves Missi. The Rook. He's been starting. They don't have options. He is getting 9 and 8 per game, shooting 55% from the field. I mean, it's going to be all dunks. He hasn't attempted a 3. Missi, that he's not a bad player. And I'm trying to see where he came out of in his history. From Cameroon. Was he out the G League last year? I think he may have been. I'm going to check out his Wikipedia because this is who Zoo's going to be going up against. Should he cook? Oh, he's playing for Baylor, I think. Yeah. He had 1 year in Baylor? Yeah. Following his freshman year, he declared for the NBA draft. He was the 21st overall pick. So they're expecting big things from him, from Missi, in the future. And Baylor's got a good basketball program. He's 6'11", 235. Born in Belgium. Okay, there's one guy you have to account for here with the Pelicans. CJ McCollum obviously is playing, but how is he doing? DeJounte Murray is back, by the way. So it's like between those two, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, I agree with the original early on this chat comment about them being better than their record. I do. How has CJ been playing this season? He is getting 21 points per game, shooting 44% from the field, but just 33% from 3. Go to the game log. Last game, he had 32 against Memphis, was keeping them in it. Game before that, 13. Game before that, 24. But he's shooting 30% in the month of December from 3. It's hard to be efficient when it's all on you. DeJounte Murray, he's played in 15 games so far. He has not found his stride shooting-wise. He's getting 16 points per game, but he's shooting just 37% from the field, 28% from 3. It has been rough for him after that broken hand. But he does have 10 straight games of being in double figures. And he's had a 15 assist game over the last week in their overtime loss to the Denver Nuggets, a game they probably should have won. He had 15 last time out against Memphis in their loss. So is DeJounte Murray coming around? I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. What about Trey Murphy? Murray's a really good player, though. Like, you have to be concerned about him. He gets going. I think that would be what changes for this Pelicans team aside from injured guys coming back. It's just DeJounte Murray playing better and catching a rhythm. Somebody who has been in rhythm, Trey Murphy is getting 20 points per game, shooting 45% from the field, 36% from three. Like Trey Murphy, he had 35 in their most recent game against Memphis in that 132-124 loss. He hit 5 3-pointers. Game before that, 4. Game before that, 3, 3, 4. He's been kind of hot from the outside. 35 points last game, 21, 21, 26, 28. So he's been doing some damage. Trey Murphy, account for him. Who else could be a problem? Herb Jones, defensive guy, but one of the best in the league. On the season, he is shooting 27% from three in his 14 games. He's been hurt too. 11 points per game is what Herb Jones is averaging, and he is shooting under 30% at 29% from three in the month of December. So even the guys, the theme here is the guys who have come back, like him, DeJounte Murray, they're not playing well. The timing's still off. If there's anybody else, as you guys want to talk about on the Pelicans, who have won 5 games, we can do that. Yes, I'm aware that they have lost the Rockets 3 times. That means Houston has their number, but it doesn't mean an automatic playoff sweep. Maybe it goes 7 games. You never know. Guys, I don't think Houston has their number. Like I think they're a difficult matchup for most teams, which is why they've been a top 4 team in the West pretty much all season long. They also don't have a guy averaging 20 points or more this season. In a playoff series, that will be a problem. If you're trying to correlate regular season to a playoff series, I got news for you. They're 2 different things. They're 2 different games. Renzo, the old head, said, have had some bad defensive plays from Harden and Norman, but to say they have been bad for a whole game is just a lie. Agree with you. Melvin Powell Jr. said the only team we have had to worry about in the West come playoff time would be OKC and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's whistle from the refs. Ex-Mongo Project said Brendan Boston Jr. having a great game against us. That is a concern. Why not? The Clippers said Pels have had some close games. I suppose their last game against Memphis, winnable. They lost by 8. Game before that, they lost by 15 to the Rockets. Game before that was the overtime loss to Denver. Game before that, they lost by 9 to the Knicks. They have been playing good teams. They lost again to the Rockets, this time by 20. Game before that, lost to the Pacers by 15. Lost to the Kings by 2. Lost to the Spurs by 6. The Thunder by 10. They beat the Suns after losing, 9 in a row? They've lost 9 in a row. Let's see. Rock is still defending his point about Harden and Norm being bad defenders out there, even though they've been good this season, or else the Clippers wouldn't be able to have the record they do and have the defensive rating they do. Hello Dolo said OKC, Grizzlies, Denver, Golden State Warriors when they are a top offense. Talking about teams that would be tough in a 7-game series. Sly Vu said, there is still a lot of season left. T. Lue isn't going to tighten the rotation that drastically yet. T-Man used to outplay Amir. He can get there again, though I love Amir too. I think the rotation is going to tighten when Kawhi comes back. That puts Chris Dunn on the bench. Who's playing? Chris Dunn, KPJ, Batum, Mo Bamba, Amir Coffey, Terrence Mann. There's 6 guys right there. Like, it's easy to say, oh, there's plenty of room, there's minutes to go around, and then you actually run the numbers or look at the rotations, and there's a numbers crunch. Amir has had the much better season than Terrence Mann. Why not? The Clippers said, if we don't feed Zoo, we might lose. I agree. Why not? The Clippers said, we have to do better at attacking opponents' weaknesses. I agree. Ray said, where is this pronunciation guide I've heard you mention? Is it a broadcasting tool? Just go to their basketball reference page. It gives you the phonetically spelled out name. Sly Booze said, Amir has definitely stabilized this season. It's awesome to see, but I think T-Man still has the edge on defense. Yeah, probably. But Amir's been way better on offense. Rock said, Amir is the better player. That postseason didn't translate to the regular season. Right, but he had a much worse postseason series against Dallas. Terrence Mann was, I think, a top 3 player for the Clippers last postseason, which I put more weight into because that's when teams and players are giving maximum effort all the time. And you're seeing the same team over and over again. Ray said, hold up. OKC are leading the Grizzlies 102-74. Laughing my ass off. Ooh. Don't love that. Absent said, Amir has to show and prove in the playoffs at some point, though. We've seen him play well in multiple regular seasons, but he needs to perform in the playoffs, too. How many opportunities has Amir gotten, though, in the playoffs? Like, last year was really his big shot. One. And it took Amir a long time to get into the rotation last year. And when he did, he was really good. He was starting a ton of games. When Kawhi was out at the end of the season, when Paul George was out, Holodola said, Houston also had their best shooting games against us from beyond the arc. There you go. They're not a good shooting team from distance. This is a great point by Holodola. Very annoying, but that isn't sustainable for them. They absolutely had outlier shooting games against the Clippers in all 3. X-Mongo Project said, would you rather win the back-to-back and lose to OKC or lose the back-to-back but win versus OKC? It depends how they lost, and it depends how they won against OKC, or maybe it doesn't depend how they win. That's tough. I don't want to see them lose the next 2 games. You're saying, would you rather go 2-1 with that loss against OKC or 1-2 with that win against OKC on this road trip? It's a decent question, X-Mongo. I appreciate it. I don't know. I want them. They need to win games. Rock said, if Claw isn't playing, just like the Dallas series, it all won't mean much. True. It's nice to go down swinging, but it's just that. No. Like, we're not going to discount how good Terrence Mann was in that playoff series because they lost the series. You don't just write off a guy's performance if they lose the series. There are great performances in losses that are meaningful. There are poor performances in wins sometimes. You do the analysis regardless, my guy. Anything less than that is just casual stuff. Melvin Powell Jr. said Ja Morant is out, Luka is out, and the Lakers are about to regress. Clippers are in a great position moving into next year. 3rd seed on the way. Are the Lakers going to regress? I don't know about that. Rock said, let's not forget, Amir had a fantastic regular season last year. I literally just brought that up. He's also one of the younger guys of the previous rotation. You have to let guys develop. I'm open to trading T-Man for the right guy. Melvin Powell Jr. said, Houston's a good regular season team, but to have championship experience, I was just trying to say, they don't have championship experience. Yeah, I don't think the Clippers would fall to them in a playoff series with a healthy Kawhi. I just don't. I don't trust a team that doesn't have a guy that averages 20 points per game. The cream rises to the top in a playoff series. It's just different. I don't think they're pushovers. I don't think they're lightweights. I don't think you're sweeping them. You're probably not beating them in 5 games. But we're talking about lesser of multiple evils here. With who would you rather play in a 7-game series in the first round? Would you rather get Dallas, Denver, Minnesota, OKC? I think I'd rather get Houston. I think I'd rather get them. Rock said, I'm not discounting Mann for what he did, but as we saw this season, a hot series doesn't mean everything will translate. No, but it also goes the other way around. A bad regular season doesn't mean that will translate into a bad playoff series. Well, all right. Rock is getting all defensive. I wrote that out before you commented. It's all good, my guy. All right. I think I'm good. All right. Best comment about Intuit Dome and your experience so far wins the pin. I'll send it to you if you're in the U.S. Below this episode, best comment as I'm out of here until tomorrow. Clippers taking on the Pelicans. Pregame show starting right back here at 4 and on AM 570 LA Sports. Appreciate everybody in here. Love y'all. Good discussion about D'Lo, Colin Sexton, the Pels. Don't overlook anybody. Hey, the Clippers play like they did in the fourth quarter against the Golden State Warriors the other night. They can lose to anybody. I don't care if the Pelicans only have 5 wins. We shall see. If they're looking past them because they have San Antonio the next night, that could be troublesome. Can't do that. Handle business before Kawhi gets back. I'm Adam Osland. You've been listening to another edition of Clippers Talk.